don't be afraid of a polarizing topic, and don't be afraid of controversy. Specifically, when I think about it, it's like, what do you believe and what do you stand for?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Walkthrough, the most underrated value-packed marketing show in real estate. I am your host, Eric Simon, and I am joined here by Katie Lucy from Jupiter, Florida, the Fool, Emily McAllister from Greenville, South Carolina, and the marketing savant, guru, host of the Stay Paid podcast, president of Reminder Media, Luke Acree. How are we doing today, everyone?
Fantastic.
Hell yeah. All right, well, you'll notice today I am not joined by my co-host. And there's been a lot of speculation. Is he fired? Is he in prison? What happened to Dan O'Neill? And there was a lot of comments on the last episode that I was being vicious to him, that I was cyberbullying him. But I need to just explain everything real quick before we dive into the episode, just because people thought I was being so mean on the last one. He shows up every single week without a mic. He claimed a pole hit the internet connection last time. He doesn't send me topics for the show. So every single show at 9 o'clock my time, I start furious. But right now, he is at the Tom Ferry conference, so I am free of my co-host, Dan O'Neill. But that is the reason for the anger on the last episode for the people that were wondering. So we do have an amazing show for you. We're going to first cover Instagram updates because a lot has been changing. And I have some news on the algorithm, new features, and then we're going to give you some rapid fire September content ideas, followed by content that converts, showing you what marketing is working in your business. And then we will react to Marketer of the Week. All right. So everyone, first story, Instagram has added new text and sticker options. So have you guys seen this yet on your Instagrams? Have you been able to utilize this? Okay, yes. So last couple of days, Instagram's been kind of all over the place. That always happens when they're changing. But they are adding new creative options, including new fonts for your Reels, stories, stickers for photos, text animation, and more. They have also simplified the process of adding text to your posts, making it easier to access these new styles. So on your actual feed post, if you're posting a listing photo, profile pic, picture of your family, whatever, you could actually add captions through Instagram now, which I think is going to be awesome, especially for someone who creates a lot of memes. You could add stickers. You could just add more context to your posts in Instagram itself with their editing features, which I think is really cool. There's also text animation, which is a new feature. And in combination, these new additions will provide more ways to express yourself via Instagram updates. And users will also be allowed to add these stickers to the carousel posts. So these are all part of Instagram's kind of new push to keep a hold of the young audiences, provide more creative options in line with broader usage and trends. And they're also looking into further music features, which you can now add to your profile, kind of like a MySpace. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then one thing to add, Adam Mosseri, the Instagram CEO, mentioned that if you are going to do a collab post, I know I've said this before, but it should be the account with the larger amount of following that posts first. So these are just kind of some updates, some quick tips for you. Any thoughts on these? Has anyone started using the new sticker features or the text base?
No,
No.
I think it'll let people be a little more creative and kind of hop on trends a little easier, but
Yeah.
My
Well,
only thought is to probably experiment with them and use them because, as we all know, any new feature, Instagram wants to show success with it. So they will give you a little bit more love, I'm sure, if you use their features. So
exactly. Well, I used it for the first time in Instagram stories. I used the sparkle feature, Emily. And it actually, you could sparkle your sticker or sparkle certain text. So if you want to drive to a keyword for a mini chat or something like that, you could actually have the text sparkle. So I do recommend trying this. Everybody go on your Instagram, check it out for stories, reels, and feed posts. Okay. That's the update on Instagram news. Let's get into September content ideas. We're about to enter a new month. It's Labor Day weekend. Emily, I will start with you. You are a content genius, if I do say so yourself, and you always have great content ideas around trending topics, what's happening in the month. So do you have anything planned in Greenville, South Carolina in September? What do you got for next month?
So in Greenville, North Carolina, Eric.
Oh my God.
Where I'm at.
I am an idiot.
In Greenville,
you should have
North
corrected
Carolina.
me on the intros.
I thought about it, but I was
God.
like, well, we'll just let him run with it and see if he realizes that he messed it up. In Greenville, North Carolina, East Carolina University is a relatively large college here, and it's football season. And that's a really big deal in like terms of the community and local content. So we have our like kickoff game this Saturday, and it's a home game. So I will be there at the tailgate filming content and having a few beers. Man on the street
Nice.
interviews are much, much easier to do after you've had like 2 Michelob Ultras.
Oh, absolutely. You have a little liquid courage in you. By the
Yeah.
way, Emily, I did see the video you posted last week about how it was East Carolina move-in week and how that was like affecting traffic and affecting, how many people were going to specific target locations. I just thought that was really good. Just kind of here's what's happening in the market. And it wasn't even necessarily real estate based. That was a great video.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. College football starting. Katie, what about you? What do you have going on in Jupiter?
I mean, we could always do like season is coming up, so like things to do before season starts, and your favorite restaurants are like more crowded. But I don't know. I have some plans around the Fed meeting, so like you can do like take your listings and say like what the average monthly payment would be like before and after the drop to kind of show buyers that there's hope. So.
Yeah. Smart. I like that. Luke, what about you? What does Reminder have for everybody, and what do you guys have planned for September?
Yeah, I mean, the main things we see, obviously, people are headed back to school. So don't underestimate back to school stuff, especially like if you think what's about to happen over the next couple of months. You got September, October, and then November. You got the holidays coming up. You got the aspect of giving back to your community. So it's a great time to, hey, your local school, how do you showcase the things that they're doing, the local PTA, the Boys and Girls Club, after school activities. Then you have Labor Day, which is the natural, right? You have the holiday there. And it's a holiday about work. So what better way to showcase what you do for your clients? Hey, thank you to all my clients for allowing me to have my dream job. So it's a way to humble brag and say, this is what I've accomplished this year, help this many people, post that on your social. You mentioned, Emily, football schedules. I think that's genius. We see that for postcards, believe it or not, being insanely popular, like sending the football schedule out for the year. And don't just do the NFL, but like college or even high school. If you have the high school football schedule, we also see that be really popular as well.
Yeah, favorite tailgate spots, man on the street stuff. Emily crushes it at those. That's difficult content to pull off, Emily. I bet that was kind of uncomfortable the first few times you did it, right?
That even now, like this past weekend, was it this past weekend? Yeah, the Watermelon Festival was going on, which is a like big end of summer thing in the neighboring town, and drove over there with my sister who was going to run the camera. Got out of the car, walked through the crowd, walked back to the car, and left because I was like, I don't have it in me today. I cannot do it.
Yeah, that definitely. Well, like you said, have a couple Michelobs and then you should be good. Yeah, it's Labor Day, so best staycation spots. I think I've mentioned a couple of times. What are you doing for Labor Day? What are your traditions? The favorite restaurants? What are your secret spots? Maybe that aren't too busy on Labor Day. Highlight some Labor Day sales for your clients, possibly. 5 things people should do in your hometown over Labor Day. The traditions. You can make the classic realtor joke that you are working on Labor Day, like Luke said, kind of a humble brag. It's the last week of summer. And of course, yes, the college football is about to start. There's just so much content you could create around sports. We have a guy in our BAMX community named Moving to Kansas City, Kyle Talbot, and he is basically the local hype person for Kansas City and always talking about here's what's happening with the Chiefs. Here's what's happening with, East Carolina, Emily. I think that could always just be good content. Is East Carolina a good football team this year?
Jury's out.
Jury's out. Okay.
There was a time that we did a really, really good job, and not so much right here lately. Hopefully we're going to turn a new leaf and it's going to be a better season.
Yes, and USC plays LSU on Sunday, which is my team, and that affects my happiness directly. When USC is winning, I am happy. When USC is losing, I am furious. All right, let's get into content that converts, because we have 3 amazing pieces of content that have done wonders for your real estate businesses. Luke, we'll start with you. And Haley, if we could pull this up. Luke, this is something that got 1.2 million plays or something like that. This went completely viral. And if we want to play it real quick, and then we could dissect why.
Why does Chick-fil-A make more money in 6 days a week than most restaurants make in 7 days? I think about this guy named Thru at Kathy. He went to the Ritz-Carlton one time, and at the Ritz-Carlton, he had this experience that blew him away. He walked into that hotel, and not only did they greet him with a smile, not only did they remember his name throughout the stay, they also picked up his clothes when he laid them on the floor in the hotel and left. They picked them up and hung them. And what he decided to do is he said, I'm going to take this experience and I'm going to apply it to restaurants. When you go to a fast food restaurant, what do you expect? You expect it to be not very clean. You expect it maybe to meet a grumpy cashier. What do you get at Chick-fil-A? You get a clean restaurant. You get a happy cashier. If you go in and you order, do you know they don't call you by the order number? They call you by your actual name. They don't put you in the line, make you go up to the order, make your order. No, they got people out there with iPads, map out your buyer's journey, and go from the moment I generate a lead to the moment I onboard them, to the moment I serve them. Where in my business am I doing the unexpected?
All right, so 26,000 likes. Why did that video pop off so much?
It's funny that I didn't expect that one to pop off at all, but it did. And when I look back at the comments, like go read the comments, there's so much hate and there's so much love. So it's very polarizing. You wouldn't think about that, but I think it hits on multiple topics that I didn't even realize, which is one is Chick-fil-A. We know the controversy that they went through a while back. That came back up, that the fact that I was referencing Chick-fil-A. But then there was another controversy on their food. And then to my main point, which was all about customer service creating raving fans, people had disagreement that Chick-fil-A actually creates raving fans. And they had bad experiences. So there was like multiple levels of controversy. So what's the main takeaway for me is don't be afraid of a polarizing topic. And don't be afraid of controversy. Specifically, when I think about it, it's like, what do you believe and what do you stand for? And it could be something as simple. You think about real estate. You think about buying versus renting. You think about how much do you need to make as a salary in order to afford a home. So you could start your hook and go, if you don't make $100,000 a year, you can't afford $400,000 above homes. And that immediately could be a controversial or something that hooks people in. So the main takeaways for me from that is, hey, don't be afraid of a polarizing topic, not because you're just trying to be clickbait and polarizing, but more importantly, because you have a belief system and you're putting that belief system out there. And I get asked the question all the time. I know it seems simplistic probably to all of us in a way, but should I have a personal profile and a business separate? Or should I do them together? And my advice is always do them together. Don't be afraid to talk about your faith. Don't be afraid to talk about your belief systems and values, because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And what I think is people not only like you personality-wise, Eric, but that are like you, meaning literally like you in terms of values and common things. So if you know that I was homeschooled, if you know that, I'm married and have 2 kids, if you know that I go to church every Sunday and I'm involved in my praise team, well, everybody who is those things is more attracted to me. Everybody who is anti those things is maybe repelled, but we always know you got to be like a magnet, right? You got to repel and attract. So those are my kind of bigger takeaways from it is don't be afraid of controversy, but more importantly, don't be afraid of showcasing your values and stand by it, even if it turns some people off, because it will attract you and it will build a tribe.
That's a great point. It's just amazing always how the Chick-fil-A reference, even though you weren't really talking about the inner politics or belief system of Chick-fil-A, it was just about how the Chick-fil-A, what was it, the CEO?
Thru and Kathy, he had gone to the Ritz-Carlton, and that's what he wanted to bring to fast food. And so, obviously, people have their opinions on Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A makes more money in 6 days a week than most of their competitors make in 7. And it's regardless of what you think of Chick-fil-A, it is a lesson in business of do not be afraid to build a tribe based upon your beliefs. Because Grant Cardone has his famous saying, 50% of the world hates me, 50% of the world loves me. Both days I get paid. And so you can win the presidency, right, with 50%. Not really, it's electoral college, but you know the point.
Speaking of controversial hooks, Katie, have you done any sort of controversial political content? Have you been avoiding that? Do you think it's going to pick up a little this election? What's your opinion on that?
I avoid it like the plague. I live in a town that's very one. We all kind of have there's similar beliefs. And I don't know. I'm not trying to rock that boat.
Yeah, I feel you. Emily, what about yourself? I feel like it's become a little bit more kosher to talk politics, especially the housing market. I know Kamala came out with the new $25,000 down payment plan. I saw Jason Cassidy do a great video on that where he just kind of played her talking and then reacted to it, but didn't really give too much of his opinion where he said this is negative or positive. Emily, do you ever cover politics or anything controversial out in North Carolina?
I love controversial things. I love
Okay.
to be the one to stir the pot. I try not to use politics to do that. Occasionally, it is kind of hard to stay away from it completely, especially when you're talking about housing market stuff. But I mean, I have been known in the past.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important, especially when we start hearing the housing plans of the presidential candidates, to discuss it. It's going to get immediate engagement on Instagram, that's for sure. But, whether you're invoking your opinion, that's one thing, but just letting people know kind of what each candidate is offering in terms of housing that is relevant. And it's better to hear it from your realtor than to hear it from Fox News or CNN. So that's, Katie disagrees. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking out of my ass.
Nothing.
Okay, got
Polarizing.
it. All right. Well, let's get into Emily. You sent me this video. It's a TikTok you posted. So Haley, if we could pull this up, and Emily, you could talk about it. This actually converted a couple leads for you.
Just one, but the
Okay.
reason that I wanted to talk about this one in particular, and this is kind of long, but it's literally just a house tour where this is not my listing. This house hit the market. It had an in-ground pool in the backyard, and it was listed at $295,000 in a really sought after location. And I just was like, this is going to attract, because this is a unique property at an affordable price point, this is going to attract some people that might be on the fence. And I posted this video in the morning. That afternoon, I got a direct message from somebody on TikTok that had just relocated here. Somebody that is from here sent them that TikTok. The two girls work together. And then my client messaged me and was like, I want to see this house. And we signed buyer agency agreement, looked at that house, submitted an offer on that house, didn't get it because it had multiple offers, but submitted an offer on that house. But we're actively looking for other things. And this is just kind of something that I maybe wouldn't normally post, especially on TikTok, because I know that it's hyper local or not going to get as much engagement. But even though it didn't get that much engagement or that many views, it converted. I mean, ultimately, the views really don't matter. I need to sell houses, and that's what pays my bills. So that was why I wanted to talk about this one in particular, because it's not anything special. It's literally just a house tour.
What up, fools? We got some deal of the week action going on. This is a brand new listing. It is on Gale Boulevard. What is the house number for this house? 341. 341 Gale Boulevard is listed with Caroline Johnson. This just hit the market this morning. This is right in the heart of Winterville at 1,641 square feet. Single family house, 2-car garage, engineered hardwood floor throughout the living and dining area. Right here to the left is your master bedroom. This is actually a really great floor plan. You've got this little sitting area over here. This is a king size bed, walk-in closet. The vanity situation is a little funky with it being pedestal sinks, but not terribly difficult to change if you didn't like that. You do have formal dining room in this plan, which this size house is kind of a toss-up whether or not you get formal dining, but you get formal dining and eat-in breakfast nook and a large kitchen. You've got solid surface countertops, stainless steel, relatively deep basin sink there. All your appliances, also dedicated laundry room, which I know people love. These are your guest bedrooms over here. These are also really good sized guest bedrooms. There's 10-foot ceilings in this house, which makes the bedrooms, really all of the rooms, feel even larger. And upstairs, there is floored walk-in attic storage. I just locked myself out here and had to jump the fence to go around the front. But this is why I really like this house, is because you have this screen and porch area and an in-ground pool. I want an in-ground pool so badly. I don't hardly know what to do with myself. My boyfriend was like, you don't need an in-ground pool. I've seen how you take care of a blow-up pool from Sam's Club. And you don't need an in-ground pool. But I think I do. I think I do need one. Fenced backyard. You do have a little bit of yard area in addition to your pool area. That's where I had to jump the fence because that door shut behind me and locked, and then I couldn't get out. This one's listed at $295,000 right here. Like I said, in the heart of Winterville, right off the main street. This is going to move relatively fast, I would imagine. That by itself, just the pool, for whatever reason, we around here do not have a whole lot of houses with pools. I couldn't tell you why that is, but people like pools. So this is a really good value.
So obviously just like super casual delivery, one take. You have the captions, but it's very natural. It's clearly like the first time you're walking through this property. It's not this, predetermined scripted listing video. And I think that stands out. It probably works even better for TikTok because I think people consume longer form content on TikTok than they do Instagram. But that stands out to me from all the other listing videos that we see are, here's the best pool in Greenville. And then it's just, cutting or someone running through the house. Like it's almost like an old school kind of Instagram live style. So I thought it was really good.
One comment that I'll make, because that's the first time I saw that video, outstanding. I loved how you pointed out the funky situation of the vanity. That was so real, authentic. It made it seem like you're not trying to sell something, and because you're not, like you are, but you're not trying to be real. I thought that hooked me right in of going, okay, now I'm getting a true representation of the house versus you trying to make it sound better than it is. I mean, just stellar. That was awesome.
I agree, especially since we can't just show buyers houses like without having a conversation and sign an agreement. It's like you're walking them through it right there. Like I do stuff like that for my clients and I'll text it to them, but like that is genius. Everyone should do that because you're just being yourself and you're being charming and funny during it. It was excellent. Good job.
Thanks.
Also, the relatability to other agents about hopping the fence and, the minor disagreement like having with your boyfriend shows little, personal life. Very just simple video, captions, one take, 2 minutes long, and she got an immediate lead from it. So awesome. Great job, Emily. Yeah. So Katie, we actually have something here that gets great engagement and is just a simple real text overlay. So Haley, let's play that real quick.
Comes to 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell them bring another round, we need 30 more. Two stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor.
All right, so market data that converts. Katie, break that down for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's exceptionally easy. And talking about stuff that converts, I typically tend to focus on hyper local stuff and I don't care as much about the engagement, but I live in a very pretty area. So I have an excellent drone videographer. So getting those B-roll clips and putting like market centric data over it that actually is like adding value to the local people, it's really helping. It's so easy. I mean, you could do it for sellers. You could do days on market, average sales price, like what to do to prep your home before you list it. And like buyers, you could do like reasons to move to your town or whatever. And it's so easy to make yourself look like the market expert while you get engagement because it's a very pretty background and it's actually providing valuable information.
Smart. Emily, do you ever do reels like that with the B-roll, footage of Greenville?
I don't, for whatever reason, those do not work well for me. I feel like my algorithm is so honed in on me talking. It's like anything that's not me talking in front of the camera doesn't, like, it just completely flops.
Yeah.
Which it kind of sucks because sometimes I don't want to talk.
And I made a joke to myself. I'm like, oh, I should get off camera more. People obviously because that one had great engagement. I think I had like 75,000 views on it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that thing's just so shareable. So for the people who are possibly just listening, it was the average days on market in certain neighborhoods in Jupiter. Is that what it was?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just, MLS data where you can find that. It just popped them up. So you have to watch the entire reel. I think it was like 6-7 seconds. So you're going to get guaranteed retention throughout that entire thing. You put a good song behind it and good B-roll. So that reel actually probably took a decent amount of time to make because it was the B-roll. You were actually doing the research, but it takes only 6 seconds to actually watch, and it got an amazing engagement. So
The imagery was awesome. Do you put the market data in the caption as well? I didn't catch it. Are you putting?
Sometimes I do. So it depends. It depends what my CTA is. Sometimes I'm just like overloading them with market, but then sometimes I get a little too analytical and I just will do like a call to action. Like if you want to know how to make less days on market, call me, something like that.
Okay. Yep.
great post there by Katie. And then Haley, let's pull this up. So I just discovered something, Luke, from our friend Brock Johnson. This is a new way to post an Instagram. Not really a new way, but this is something that got me 600 story replies.
Gee.
So Haley, if we could just show this photo. So it's, you create the problem, right? You say, here's the problem happening with your buyers or sellers, or here's the problem happening with your marketers. And then you provide the solution, and then you give the call to action. That's how you should always script these kind of create mode things if you're using a mini chat trying to get responses. So I said, red mean face emoji, that captures attention immediately. Anytime I do these create mode posts, I want to have like eyes or some sort of emoji, something that kind of like captures the mood of what I'm about to discuss. So I said, creating content can suck. It's especially annoying when you spend an enormous amount of time posting stuff that doesn't convert. To help with this, I'm hosting a free training webinar this Wednesday on 3 simple techniques to get leads to contact you. DM reply video, and I'll send you the invite. So here is the trick. Brock Johnson does it where he actually highlights the call to action text a different color. Now, this is not anything revolutionary here, but it just puts extra emphasis on the word and the call to action that you're trying to people to do. And then also I pointed an arrow, which goes directly down to where people would submit that message. So I've done a million of these create mode things where I do different text or I do different hooks, and I say, comment, DM the word, bam, and I'll send you a link to whatever it is. This one specifically netted so many more because of the arrow pointed down exactly where they should put in the text and changing that color.
Yeah,
so
it's genius. It's like
there you
Donald Miller or whatever story brand guy. Like he, is famous, obviously marketing wise, but he talks about when someone hits your web page or hits your marketing, they shouldn't have to think at all what you want them to do. Like it's like every thought they have to have is them on a treadmill, and you're making them run on a treadmill, right? So it's like you just literally spelled out exactly what I want you to do. I don't even have to think about it. I know exactly where I'm going, know exactly what I'm saying. So it's pretty awesome.
Exactly. And then calling specific attention to who the people you want to interact with the story. Like I was doing one for team leaders. It was a lead magnet, and I said, attention team leaders at the top. So, people who aren't team leaders aren't going to get that story. But if you're a team leader, you're so much more engaged in that. So if you say something like attention first-time home buyers, attention sellers, attention people living in Jupiter, attention people going to the East Carolina, tailgate, something like that, then you're calling attention to the direct people that you want to see that piece of content.
That's great.
So I thought it's good advice for people. Change the color of text, and now that you could use all these different text options, I think this could be a good move for you if you're doing lead magnets or trying to get more attention on something. All right, marketer of the week. I have 2 videos from someone, a polarizing figure in the BAM community. Emily, do you know this guy? Do you know Shane Bergman, possibly? Yes. Do you like Shane Bergman?
I like Shane.
Shane's the
I
best.
have a certain level of respect for Shane.
Gotta have respect for Shane. I'm just kidding, yeah. Shane. I know he'll be listening to this and he'll be furious regardless, but this is amazing content from Shane Bergman. He did 2 videos. One is a display of his YouTube ads that he uses for pre-roll.
Oh crap, another ad? Shit about YouTube Premium. Anyways, I thought you should know that Vieira Real Estate is our team's specialty. We live in the area, and like most Vieira residents, we're interested in new developments. Whether it's hot new restaurants, schools, new residential developments, or where the next dentist office is going to be. Our team covers all these topics on our YouTube channel, and we just surpassed 1 million views. That's a lot of views. We facilitated the first resale in the new community, Pangea Park, one of the first new builds in Arequipa, and we've already helped a handful of buyers in Vieira's newest luxury community, Laurasia. And in 2023, no single agent nor team listed more real estate in West Vieira than the Bergman Group. If you have any questions about buying in Vieira, or maybe you're considering selling your Vieira home, we're the team for you. And if you don't believe me, please go check out one of our 100+ 5-star Google reviews and hear it directly from our clients. And if you made it, oh crap. Vieira homeowners, if you're thinking about selling, here's how our team operates.
He posted this to Instagram. It's 4 swipers of the 4 YouTube pre-roll ads that he did, which I thought was genius because he's hitting 2 audiences. He's kind of teaching agents how he does these pre-roll ads. So, that's good for agent to agent referral, expanding that network. And then he's showing his clients the process of, how he advertises his real estate business. And he's showing how good he is on camera. He's showing that he has a YouTube channel. So it's promotion without promotion to his clients, where they're going to swipe through these 4 videos and be like, oh my God, like imagine the videos this guy could do for my listing. Look how dialed he is with these 4 pre-roll ads. So I just thought that was such a really good way to kind of show his process. And it really effective post for social media too, because it hit those 2 clientele. Luke, what did you think about that one?
Well, he's a beast, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And if you like that video that we just watched, you think about like he basically addressed the thing you hate when you get an ad right away, which is so amazing.
Smart.
It's like, oh, another ad, should have bought YouTube Premium, which has nothing to do with his real estate, but it hooks you in. And then he goes and basically says, here's why you should use me. Because we've listed the most, but we live in the community. We know all the insider things. So it makes you curious. And then he backs it up with showing you we did this, this, and this, but he did it in a way that I thought was awesome, which was he basically was bragging, but giving you the insider information. We listed a home in this new place. We listed a home in this new development. And then if you want to experience it, go read our Google review. So it's like his just framework there. If you look at the framework, you go, wow, he addressed the pain point right away that people hate about ads. Then he moved into intriguing your curiosity and then humble bragging by giving you the actual curiosity you were looking for.
Exactly. That's a great breakdown, great play-by-play there by Luke Acree. Also, I just love the fact when agents show their process and post it to Instagram. I think that's so much more effective sometimes than just showcasing the listing or showcasing that you sold something. The entire process of showing the actual comp process possibly. For example, we have another video from Shane Bergman where he does that exact thing. So back-to-back videos here from Shane.
One of the first things I do is I pull this estimate. I do this because I know the sellers have already looked at that, and I just want to make sure that I'm aware of this number. I then pull in a secondary AVM from Realist just so I can get an idea of where we're at. I then look at and I analyze the subject property for condition, and if there are any X factors on the property, I like to take note of that. Now, in this instance, the subject property is on a very large parcel, and it's got a ton of living square footage, so I annotate that. I then look at all the activity in a 1 mile radius. And in some instances, I need to expand that a little bit further. So here I went out for 2 miles. I then adjust the price segment, essentially throttling the pricing from where I know the home would not sell below. So in this instance, it was $900,000. Adjust the dates. And in this market, if you go back further than 3 months, I think that is too far. So I really like to keep it within 30 days if possible. I then select comps, and then I'll conduct adjustments on the CMA. And one of the cool things about the Compass CMA platform is it will use AI to give us a better understanding of what markets are selling for more or for less. Then I make remarks in the evaluation, and then I publish it, and then that is what I bring with me on my listing appointment.
So, people just say we're door openers, we turn on lights and stuff, but I think actually showing the process of that, like this is what he does for comps, just shows all the work that's being put into it. Again, this hits a real estate audience because it gives them ideas about, I could do B-roll footage of me sitting at a computer working, do a voiceover and talk about the process of something that I'm doing. And it just shows the amount of detail that he puts in to doing these comps. So shout out Shane Bergman. Love the guy. He's crushing it. He spoke at the TF event that you're at, right, Luke?
Yeah. Dude, the guy's a beast.
Yeah,
it's just a beast. One critique I would give him if he's listening to this,
he will be.
Talk about controversy. One critique is I don't think consumers know what comps are, CMAs are, anything like that. So I would almost explain. I know you have limited time in a video, but explain it if you're the consumers watching because it won't hit because they don't know the acronyms like we do. Yeah, so
that is true.
I'll give him a critique too, because I don't care. So I've seen a lot of stuff on him on YouTube, and it's awesome. He's such an operator, and it's really, really impressive. And he should put more stuff out like that, because if I was a consumer, forget me being able to copy his plan, because that is helpful. But being a consumer, I would want to see that my guy is an operator, knows his stuff. And some of the other stuff that's like funny and out there, like I wouldn't get at all. Like I don't know. I don't think it was going to hit with the consumer. That's all agent to agent stuff. And it undervalues his value because he's obviously is a very good real estate agent. So he should talk about that probably more.
I think he's been shifting to a lot of that. A lot of his content now has been about his process, but his humorous content I think is hilarious. He does all these collabs with Derek Gregory. It crushes. It does
I'm
reach a
sure.
large agent to
They
agent
are
audience.
so funny. It's just
And,
the best.
and I think it's done tastefully too, where it's not like, oh, this is some clown just making funny videos. Like he has so much.
He literally was in a clown outfit, or maybe it was a leprechaun.
He
So
wasn't
okay.
a clown outfit.
I'm just saying. I don't know the guys. I'm not trying to hate. It's really good content that he's putting out now, so he should keep doing that.
Yeah, he's crushing it. Emily, what do you think about Shane's mix of funny content versus process content?
I have no critique for Shane. I don't want to. I do not want to poke that bear.
Smart. That is a bear. Yes.
But I think he does a great job. I am constantly like sharing his. I think I made a comment one of the last walkthrough episodes we did with Shane that part of most of his like shares on his videos are me sending it to other agents. Like, look at what Shane did.
Yeah. So everybody go follow Shane Bergman, Burgman. He is a friend of the show. He'll be at BAM Mania. Luke, you'll be at BAM Mania speaking. Katie, you'll be there speaking. Emily, you're going to the real conference, so you're not going to make BAM Mania right before. Luke, any sales for Reminder over Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're doing a $20 setup fee sale. So normally our setup fee is $300. We'll run promos where we'll do it for $99, but we're doing it for $20. The reason why is we're celebrating our 20th year.
Wow.
In business. And so
Congrats.
20 years, I always tell people, what Tony Robbins said, 4% of businesses make it 10 years. We've made it 20. I think we've made it 20 because what we do works. Obviously, I'm biased. But we're doing a $20 setup fee for 20 years in business. So.
That's awesome. And if anyone's been listening to this, you already know about Reminder. We have a link down in the description for that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the walkthrough. This was a super value-packed episode. Make sure you go follow Emily McAllister. See what she's going to do at the ECU game. Is she going to have enough cocktails where she could go up to people? Possibly. Let's see if they can pull off a win. Follow Katie Lucy for hyper-local Jupiter content. And this is not Jupiter the planet, Greenville, South Carolina. This is Jupiter, Greenville, North Carolina. This is Jupiter. The joke here was that, Jupiter, Florida, Greenville, North Carolina, not South Carolina, not the planet. Didn't land. Luke, everybody go follow Luke Acree because he's going viral again and again and again, and he is posting amazing articles here with BAM. Follow Reminder Media. Thank you for tuning into the walkthrough, and make sure you get your tickets to BAM Mania. We will see you on October 18th.